Welcome back to the channel. It's that time of year again. It's getting cold, wet, damp, dark early.
So today we're going to share with you our ultimate guide to keep you toasty warm in your camper van this winter. So it's time to batten down the hatches, fire up the diesel heater and get yourself a hot chocolate as we guide you through winterising your camper van with the help of our tips and tricks.
So essential kit to have in your camper van is heating. We have got a diesel heater.
So we didn't have a diesel heater when we first converted the van, but we've got one now. Her name's Faye and she lives just here. Here's the outlet pipe and it's in our cupboard. I've made this cupboard easily to disassemble so we can just work on it if we need to. And
why is the heater called Faye?
Because she's nice and spicy and it's Faye heater.
Oh God, I'm sure last.
Okay, so it's really important to, if you've got a diesel heater, maybe it might break down, so carry some spares, glow plugs, all that kind of stuff, spare bits and pieces. Maybe have a backup heater as well. We've got a small 500 watt ceramic heater that we could use if it was really cold and we had to. So you should have already insulated your floors and your walls and your ceiling, but there's large amounts of glass in your camper van and they get really cold. So what we've made is these little blinds. Now the good thing about this one is it's got carpet on that side, reflectix on that side, and it folds, so that's easy storage for us. It keeps us nice and toasty.
So on this window we've got a similar thing. This one doesn't fold and we haven't put carpet on it, but it's exactly the same. It's got the reflectives on the back. So yeah, we've got internal and external blinds for the front cab area of the van as well. We do find that the external blinds are the best, especially in the winter months.
So if you've got a camper van, you'll know that the floor is one of the coldest places of your camper van. No matter how much you insulate it, it's freezing. It's like putting your feet down on a block of ice. So easily remedied. Just put some mats down on them. We've got the roll up mats. We've got a couple of those, and then we've got like a boot mat by the door to try and trap it. Now you do have to clean them all the time because they get pretty grubby, because it's like your front door mat at home, so constantly walking stuff in and that.
So one of the best things you can do is just before bed, fire up the diesel heater, get the temperature up, and then you're nice and warm for when you fall asleep. So most of the issues in winter come overnight when the temperature drops, because we don't leave our diesel heater on overnight. We find it's too small a space.
Yeah.
Gets, even if you lower the temperature, it's just too hot.
Yeah. It doesn't go too cold in the van, even if it's freezing outside, because you're keeping it. It's a small space, and you're keeping it warm to a degree yourself. So another thing to consider is drafts coming from your seals through your doors, especially the back doors. We didn't really have any problem when we've been in this van in below zero temperatures, but you can put things like pipe insulation or draft excluders down gaps around the doors and obviously around the floors and everything. But as I say, we've not really experienced that problem, so that may be something that you could consider. Some of the ways that we keep warm overnight is that we have teddy bear sheets, and we also use this extra thick teddy bear throw. That's really good. And obviously with that, teddy bear pillowcases as well to match. So we fully teddy beared up. So to complete the teddy bear set, we've got these thick teddy bear pyjamas. These are mine. So nice thick teddy bear pyjama top and matching bottoms. Now it has to be really cold for me to wear them. So of course when it's really cold you can even use an hot water bottle.
So as it says, this is a heavy duty double sleeping bag, designed for winter. Beauty of this one is this inside, this beautiful pattern. I'm joking. I'm going to get it out the bag and then I'll show you how good it is. Okay, lovely and thick. Zips both sides, so if one person gets a bit warm you can zip it out, or obviously at our age, if you need the toilet in the night, you can get out easier without disturbing the other person. So continuing on the teddy bear theme, it's teddy bear inside again. And of course the beauty of this one is if you have got 2 people, then you've got the other person's body heat as well, because you're not in an individual sleeping bag, you're in a double, you get their heat. Or Mark actually gets my cold. So this is it, all folded up in the bag. It's got this cover that keeps it from coming out, because I had sleeping bags over the years and they always come out the covers, and really irritating. This one doesn't. It's really great how it packs away. It is a bit bulky though, so you know, if you're taking this with you, you've got to have room to store it.
Another great tip is, you could be like me, freezing cold feet at night, so I always wear slipper socks or thermal socks. I've got my thermal ones on at the moment.
Daytime in the van, we tend to not spend that much time in the van, do we, in a day?
Not during the daytime.
We tend to be out walking. We find, obviously, you get your body temperature up then and everything, so we think it's better to be out of the van. But obviously there are times when you want to be in the van, or you need to be in the van.
So if you're in the van for any length of time, of course you could put your diesel heater on, but what we tend to do is we tend to layer up our clothes like you would if you're going on a hike. So you'd have a warm base layer, then you would have your inner layer,
this one,
and then you'd have your outer layer, and that way it keeps you warmer, and you can always remove things or add things on rather than just wearing a big coat, where you tend to be either freezing cold or sweltering hot.
Yes. So the other thing to remember is your extremities. So make sure you've got your gloves on, your hat, not your summer hat that I've currently got on and Mark's currently got on. It's autumn at the minute, guys, so we're in between. We're starting layering up, but it's still autumn. So hats, gloves, and remember those thermal socks really help. The other thing is, when you're sitting around, make sure you've got some throws. We've got a lovely orange throw.
Here's our one.
Oh.
Here's our one, and we keep this one just for that thing, don't we? Just in the daytime. Just
for that.
So if you're sitting in the van for any length of time and there's not much of a view, might as well just put the window blinds on, because you do lose a lot of temperature or heat through the glass. So the window blinds will just keep some of it in and reflect it back into you.
Yep. The other thing to remember is, when you're out and about, try and go into some warm places like shopping centres or
National Trust, if you remember.
Yeah, if you remember.
Where you can go inside.
Yeah, those type of places have generally got heating on.
Governmental buildings, like maybe libraries, that kind of thing. Yeah, maybe get into a bit of reading inside a library than reading in your van. If
you like us, then you, especially me, you tend to go in a coffee shop, and of course that can always warm you up as well.
Of course, you can always go for a walk or do some exercise just to get a little bit warm, get the blood pumping, get your body core temperature up, and get back in the van then.
Yeah, I think I find Mark tends to be a little bit warmer than me in general, but I find that if I've sat in the van for an hour or two, I start to drop in temperature then, so it is best then to get up and move around a bit. So one thing you can do is keep your inner body temperature up, so having some warm hot drinks.
Yeah. Tea, coffee, hot chocolate.
We've got hot chocolate currently.
So the other thing that we do in the winter time, we change our diet slightly, and we tend to have a lot of more one pot meals. So we prepare soup. We'll do a larger batch of soup, won't we? We'll have it over a couple of days with the toasty or something like that. So simple food that's nice and warming and comforting.
Yeah, so we actually had that yesterday.
Yeah. And the benefit of that, you can forget about the salads for a bit, can't you?
And while we're on, put in the comments, please, if you are team orange.
Team yellow.
Orange.
So one thing to consider during the winter time is there's a lot less solar. So you're not going to be able to charge your batteries up if you're in a stationary position for any amount of time. So we have to consider whether we're going to drive to charge our battery, because we don't use campsites, or whether we try and conserve our electric usage. And that's what we normally do, to be honest. We've got quite a large air fryer, which is 2 kilowatts. It's great, but it takes a large chunk, maybe 20% out the battery when we use it. But we've also got hobs, they're 800 watts, so obviously a lot easier and quicker. We've also got our microwave over here, which is 700 watts, and that heats soup up in 3 or 4 minutes, doesn't it, from cold. So yeah, you can conserve power that way. That way you don't have to drive so much. especially as we said when the sun is not as good in the winter, although it's glorious today.
It's very cold though.
Yeah. I'll have a quick look on the app actually while we're doing that.
I'll talk to you while he's getting the app on. It's very cold today, very sunny. Here it is.
15 degrees.
Is it on yet?
Oh, I've got the camera on.
Oh well, that's helpful. Yeah.
So I've got a Renogy app on here, and at the moment we're getting 21 watts through our solar panel, so we're getting a little bit, but it's certainly not to enough to charge your batteries, just being parked up stationary for any length of time.
Here's the chuffer chuffer. I'm kind of glad we got that. And now that's gone, you can hear me. Oh no, it's going round. You still can't hear me.
Okay, so when you're trying to insulate your camper van and keep all that heat inside and keep yourself warm, you have to remember that can create a lot of condensation, so you do have to have some ventilation. We've made sure that we've got enough ventilation in our camper van.
So the thing we've got in the cab side is these wind deflectors on the outside, so it means you can drop the window down slightly, and even if it rains you're still getting that ventilation. So I'll just show you those now. Yeah, and it just means you can crack that window down and not have any issues, but you're still getting that ventilation into the cab side then. So it's important to ventilate cab and sleeping area.
So in the sleeping area, the main thing that we've got is our fan that's on the roof, and this is air driven, and that's working all the time to get rid of any damp air. So in addition to the fan that we've got at the front of the sleeping area, we've also got ventilation that's built into our Skylight. Now our Skylight comes with two perforated ventilation pieces, but there's also the ones where they're solid, which blocks out of ventilation. We like to leave ours with a perforated in, just to keep that ventilation going.
Even in the snow?
Even in the snow, not a problem. So you've just been on a walk, you've come back, your clothes are wringing wet, so you bring them back into your van and they're going to start to dry, and all that condensation is going to get drawn to any cold surface inside your van. So what we tend to do, we like to dry our clothes as soon as possible, to be honest. So what we do, we tend to open the door, we put our diesel heater on and we hang our clothes in this area. We make sure that those clothes are dried out before we store them away. If your clothes are really wet and dripping, what we do then is that we get our bath and we hang our clothes over the bath, and then we add a pipe onto the diesel heater and we use it a little bit like an airdryer, and that dries our clothes off. Just remember to make sure that you've got ventilation, because you want that wet air to go out your van. Even if it's a cold day, you want that wet air to go out your van. You don't want that lingering in your van, especially overnight.
So the other thing that we tend to do first thing on the morning is we try to air the van out. So Mark will tend to get into the cab, won't you?
Yeah.
He'll use the Karcher to clear the windows, put the engine running and start clearing that area, won't you?
Yeah.
What we do at the back is take the window blinds off, same thing, clear the windows, and then we open them and we tend to put the diesel heater on, don't we? Yeah,
just to air the van out. It gives the diesel heater a chance to burn any soot up that's accumulated over the time. Just gives it a good blowout and a good airing. So okay, so we use our Karcher to get rid of the condensation on the inside of the windscreen. So I have noticed there's other brands now which are a little bit more budget friendly. So Karcher are a little bit more expensive, aren't they? But I think the budget ones are just as good. Rechargeable, so brilliant. Keep it charged, keep it in the cab under the seat. Also use one of these glass cloths. Now these are great because they're microfiber. You can get into the hard to reach areas. And then what I tend to do is when I've used it, I just drape it over the steering wheel. The windows are open, so it'll dry it out nice and quickly, so you ain't got to worry about mould and things like that forming on it. So they're all our tips and hacks for winterising your van. So it'll be interesting to see if you've got any other things that you do.
Yeah, leave it in the comments and tell us the things that you do, especially if it's things we haven't thought of.
Yeah, maybe we'll add it to our
big long list.
List of things that we do. keep on top of keeping yourself warm and condensation and all of that.
So I hope you liked this video. If you did,
give it a big thumbs up and consider subscribing.
And we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.